Imagine yourself walking down a street somewhere in East Germany. A lot of people passes by. You don't pay much attention to them. Some of them are wearing pins on their jackets. You don't really pay attention to the pins either. It's just regular pins. Like, for example, this one. So the person wearing it must have been in Berlin, bought a pin as a memory. Or maybe this one, which bring the thoughts to France maybe. Or why not this one, showing that the person wearing it sympathizes with the ideas of Lenin, which of course wouldn't be very strange in a country like East Germany. Just ordinary pins, or at least that's what you might think, because the history behind these pins are way more exciting and interesting. Because after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, the East German State Security Service also ceased to exist. A state security, of course, more known as Stasi, which stands for Ministerium für Staatssicherheit. You all probably know about that. And even if a lot of their records by then had been destroyed, a huge amount of documents and objects, they fell into the public hands. Documents and paperwork that are still being processed today. But during this chaotic time, countless sets of pins were found. They had a wide range of designs, but none of them bore the symbol of the organization. It was only when an order catalog from a company called VEB Prevema, located in Markneukirchen, was found that the purpose of these pins became clear. Some of the pins is visible here, of course. And it turned out that they were identification pins, called Erkennungsabzeichen. And they were used by Stasi personnel during undercover operations. But how did it work? Well, before each operation, a specific variant of a badge, a specific set, so to say, was chosen, and the meaning of each color in that set was determined. For example, the 4 pins that you see here are parts of a set. The set is actually bigger. I don't have all of them. As far as I know, I think there are 7 or 8 of these, all similar to each other. Each person, of course, during an operation had their specific role. And this role could be seen from a distance by looking at the specific pin that the person was wearing. And this was made to ensure that the Stasi employees recognized each other during the operation, but also supported each other if necessary, and of course did not interfere with each other. The identification badges, they were an important aid for Stasi, especially when the state was visited by, for example, foreign politicians, or when the members of the party and the state leadership traveled within the country, the DDR. But they were also used during large-scale, what could you say, sport or cultural events, when a lot of Stasi employees worked at the same time at the same place, and they were often unknown to each other. So in that regard, pins like these became very important. So, for example, if a sporting event was to be infiltrated to keep a specific person under surveillance or simply to gather information, a specific set was picked, for example, the Berlin set. The leader of the operation, for example, chose the green color, and then the rest of the staff during this operation picked different colors, depending on if you, for example, were supposed to stay in the background and observe, or simply confronting or conversing with people to gather information. There are a lot of these badges, several sets, and of course even more color versions. A total, I'm not sure about the total, but we're talking about hundreds of different pins, all different to each other, but of course not different in a way that would make people suspicious. But the main issue for Stasi was of course that the pins needed to be similar to tourist pins or sporting pins, propaganda pins, in a way that people wouldn't be suspicious. But at the same time they couldn't be too much alike other pins that already existed. So they spent probably a lot of time designing these different pins. Now you might wonder, what is this one? This one is a little bit different, and it's the favorite pin for me in my collection. As you can see, it's a 3-piece construction. It looks like this on the back side. And what you do is that you take this little badge, or what should you say, and you place it over the screw, and then you can simply move it around to change color. Like that. And then you use this back piece to fasten it to your clothes. It's a really fascinating design. I really like it. But it was used in the same way as all the other pins. And that is the story behind these strange looking pins with a very exciting history. And if you want to see more, I have a book that I would like to recommend. I'm not sure, I need to zoom out a little. This is the Frank Bartel DDR Specialkatalog, the second book in the series. And in this one you have, I'm not sure if it's all of them, but a lot of them are pictured in this book. And as you can see, there are a lot of them. This is a great reference piece if anyone is more interested in knowing more about these pins. And that's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to. I have more videos coming related to Stasi, for example, but much more else as well. So, thanks for watching.